Hello, Markus.
Hello, Heiko. Hello,
Hello.
stream.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining our Ask Me Anything session.
AMA time again.
AMA time. Friday is AMA time. That's very true. And so, as always, we have some topic at the beginning related to today's date.
Hi, Matthias.
Hi,
Yes,
Matthias. Which is, yeah.
today's topic. Yeah. Sorry, don't want to interrupt you.
I don't know. No, let us know.
Yes,
There's
it's
a little hint there. Look at this little guy here.
Yes, today's topic is Napster.
Napster.
No, sorry. No,
sorry,
it's Apple.
Metallica. Yeah, that's another topic.
Okay, not another story.
Yes,
Hi,
that's true.
Ferry. No, today's topic is Apple Music. So I think 20 years ago, it was in 2003.
I think so too.
On the 28th of April, the Apple Music service starts. And 20 years ago, so a long time. And did you ever use Apple Music, Heiko?
No. I'm using Spotify. I use Spotify. So, but I think it was revolutionizing the whole music industry. And just recently, I think on Twitter, somebody posted an email thread from Microsoft internally before that happens, where they were like, how did Steve Jobs manage to get all these major labels to put their music into the Apple Store? It's like, whoa, yeah. So it was really, revolutionizing. That's
indeed, yeah. So, but I never used it as well. So no, that's a lie. I think I bought back in the days, where you bought MP3s instead of streaming the music. So that is what you could do on Apple Music, or was it just an iTunes service? I'm not sure, because I was neither
okay.
a user of those services.
Okay, but to make this very clear, we never took any MP3s from any sources that were not licensed.
No,
Of course not.
no, of course
never,
not. Never, ever.
Never, ever. Okay, maybe we should change the subject. But yeah, I think it's the music, how we consume it today. I think it started back in 2003, if you will. Yeah,
so Matthias asks, do you guys know about Apple Classical Music app? Not sure about that. What is the Classical Music app?
No, I don't know. I don't know too. I mean, in the beginning, it was called just, I think, iTunes Music Store, and then later it was because like other medias were added to the store. I think that was the case.
So I remember. I bought one album on iTunes. I bought one album on iTunes. I think it was the Dr. Dre Compton album. I bought on iTunes. That's the only one, because I remember it was some kind of exclusive to Apple Music, but or to iTunes. I'm not sure. I'm a Spotify user as well. So
yeah. So okay. So that's out of the way. But I think because we said it revolutionized the way that we consume music. I think the first topic we're going to talk about is also definitely revolutionizing, because we have these questions here like, what do you think about using ChatGPT or PowerShell? Ooh.
So In case you missed it, our last session was about ChatGPT 2, and our special guest was Doug Fink. So he's the creator of the PowerShell AI module. So in case you missed it, I think you can rewatch it on YouTube.
Absolutely. And by chance, I just have the link here and I put it into the chat. So yeah, so we talked with Doug, and I think it was very interesting. I think for everybody who is interested in that topic, besides the two of us mumbling about it, I think it would be it's good to watch this video. It's 1 hour, and I think he starts to show the things about in the 30 minutes mark or something, or 25. So that's really interesting. And so, but yeah, so the question was, okay, what I think what we think about ChatGPT and PowerShell. Did you try it already, Markus?
Yeah, sure. I already tried it. So yeah, I think it's a little difference between what do you think about using ChatGPT for PowerShell and with PowerShell. So with PowerShell, you can of course use the PowerShell AI module. So it's really great. I love to use it. But to use it with PowerShell, yeah, it's great as well. So I use it in my daily business with PowerShell. So I often give ChatGPT some code to review, some PowerShell code to review, and sometimes it's working very well, and sometimes you have to adjust a few things. But in general, it's great experience.
Yeah. So for me, it's kind of similar, I would say. Well, at the beginning, I was kind of, I would say, reluctant, and actually, the AMA session with Doug motivated me to look into it. So I'm definitely not an early bird in this stuff, but I think it's really pretty amazing. And maybe if for people who haven't seen it, maybe we can show it a little bit.
What do you sure think? And we have a question from Blackbox Coder. Do you use the Code GPT extension in VS Code? And I think you are using it, Heiko.
What I just looked at, and that's another thing, and I think we can cover this later on,
sure.
Because there's many great sessions now coming up with all around PowerShell ChatGPT. I just watched one on Monday from the Brisbane user group with Michael Sanata, and he showed the Genie extension for VS Code, and I installed it, and it looks good, pretty helpful. So maybe we can take a look at this as well, just to give the people a little introduction into it if they haven't seen it yet. So I mean, in general, if we start with ChatGPT, well, it's like this, right? You have your account, and then you can start asking questions. And one of the things that I like to do, which of course has to do with PowerShell as well, but in general, I have my difficulties with regular expressions, and I guess I'm not the only one, probably. So one of the things that I find pretty helpful is ask ChatGPT to create regular expressions. Of course, you always have to test it, because I tried it with a pretty complex one last week, and I was trying to test it with the, which you all probably know as well, which is the regex101.com, where you can throw in your regex and you type in your string, and then it says it's match or it doesn't match. And I didn't get it to work, so I went back to, okay, let's make it a simple one, and okay, just characters and some special characters, and then add, like numbers and stuff like that. So, but I think it's a good starting point, especially because, like in this case, it explains what it is, like, okay, what each of these expressions mean. So that is, I think, really pretty helpful if you are new to that. And then, of course, yeah, you can ask them to build some scripts and stuff. So that's maybe something we can take a look at as well. Let me Okay, same here. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Same here in regards to regular expressions, or I don't know. But okay, let's move on and just maybe show this a little bit. So we have some ChatGPT fun. Because the next step, of course, things that you can do is you can say, okay, I am going to use the module from Duck, the PowerShell AI module, which I think is a pretty good way of starting to work with PowerShell and ChatGPT. So let's just go there. All right. And it's the ISE. Oh my God! But it's still
so you're able to use ChatGPT with the ISE.
Yes, in legacy mode, if you will. Some people would say, but I'm old and I still like it because I think it's pretty clean and yeah, I just like it. Sorry for that. Sorry, not sorry. So and you will find a lot of articles now also coming up with things that you can do where the people explain what you could do with this module. And the main thing is, I hope I did it beforehand, is to put in your OpenAI key, because that's necessary to create the connection, of course. And then, okay, you can use, for example, the Copilot commandlet. And look at this. Okay, maybe it doesn't like this one here. No.
Yes, the pain of live demos.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, because I tried. If you if you don't pray to the demo gods, then that's what happens. So let's see. Let's take another example. So if this doesn't work, then maybe I've broken the ISE, and then we're going to switch to VS Code.
Yeah,
as every good PowerShell person would do.
It worked on my machine.
Yeah. It works for me, exactly. So okay, yeah. So this is just coming back with some data in JSON format, which of course then you can put into a variable, and you can make it work in your script with all kinds of stuff. I saw some example and where somebody used ChatGPT also to create a new SQL database with several tables and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. So that's what you can do with the module. And I have the impression that Duck is almost every day putting out some new version with additional commandlets. So I think when I first installed it, it was maybe half of it, but now it's really great. And we will put some links into the chat.
Do he ever sleep? Do he ever sleep?
I have no idea. Maybe he has cloned himself with the help of ChatGPT.
Yeah, with the help of ChatGPT. It seems he is always on. He's always in front of his PC to put in new commandlets in this this module.
So it's really amazing. And for example, you can also use it to find out what's your usage. There is this get OpenAI usage command that shows you how much money you already spent, depending on how many requests you have sent if you're using a ChatGPT Plus, for example. And then of course, going to the more modern world in VS Code. So this is this Genie extension. This is the one that I've played around with it. And I also compared, by the way, the same question, the same prompt with PowerShell AI module and the Genie. And the results are sometimes a little bit different, which is the case actually if you do it natively as well. So if you're asking for a script to do something, it might, and you do it 3 times, you might get 3 different results. So that's another thing that I realized. But
yeah, and you should know what you are doing. So don't let ChatGPT control your on-premise or cloud infrastructure without reviewing the stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's like you let a child using your infrastructure.
Yeah, and always check what comes out of it. And as you said, you need to know, you need to be as precise as possible to what you ask for, because the more you get the information into the prompt, the better the result will be. And so
indeed, yes,
I guess it will not take months that you will see people calling themselves having a job title prompt engineer, and it will become a thing. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
all DevOps engineers are.
Okay, there's another question. Does Genie also provide refactoring via right-click on highlighted code snippets? That's a good question. I don't know. So there is a couple of commands that you can use, and so if we take a look at all of them, see the commands. So and I have to say, I just started installing it this morning, so I'm not really that experienced, but it seems to have quite some good functionality, and then of course there is also the Copilot from GitHub, and then the X one that will come up, but that of course will there will be some licensing costs involved. But I think we will see a lot of new use cases and new stuff appearing, including, and that's maybe the last thing to show before we move on topic-wise, is that we thought, well, maybe it would be a good idea to include it into our solution as well. So as we have this scripting area where people can manage their scripts, and we built, it's not production yet, it's a prototype. So hopefully it works, so it provides basically the window for the prompt. And so what we can do here, for example, so this is a prompt. I played with it, and several times it worked. Sometimes it didn't work. Again, it's not really deterministic, so to speak. So the goal is to create a script that will create a team, and it should be optimized for the usage within ScriptRunner, which, for example, means that we can have different. We can have parameter descriptions in different languages. And so the last two sentences is about, okay, try to build this into the script in the way that we understand it, which means we have these prefixes. And if they are there, then we know what to display when somebody switches from German to English, for example. So let's click on Generate Script, and let's see if the outcome is okay. And then if not, we just tested it before we started the live stream. We did it again with the exact same prompt, and then it worked. So as we said before, you have to check what comes out of it to see if it really, if it's that what you expect. That's really, I think, the key. And I think that also will not really change in the future. Okay, so this from the first look looks good. So because it understood that, okay, we have this prefixes for each parameter, so I don't have to worry about the language, and I could even add, I guess, I didn't write, but Spanish and French. And then we have the code, we have the parameters, and we have at the end we have the result message. Again, something that has to do with how ScriptRunner works. So we have a script, and so instead of starting with a blank screen, we already have a structured script that, in general, from the structure perspective, will work perfectly with ScriptRunner. And then, of course, we will tweak it and edit and test it and stuff like that. But I think it's really a cool way of improving and speeding up the way that you build your scripts. And it's nowhere perfect, of course, in many cases, but it's it helps.
It's a beginning.
And it's like I see it like a companion, like ask all questions that you have where you might think, okay, how do I build a table? How do I create a particular function, or maybe something else in other areas? I think it's really cool. So coming back to the sorry,
and it's no problem. And it's great that the script is already structured like ScriptRunner wants it to use.
In this case, yes, absolutely. So to come back to the questions, what do we think about ChatGPT and PowerShell? I think there are a lot of opportunities, and I think it's worth digging into it and trying to use it. As Doug said, because if you don't do it, somebody else will do it, and they will be faster in the future with, for example, building their scripts. And of course, today we'll talk about PowerShell, obviously, but it's something that really helps with all kind of stuff. As a last comment on that, I also tried it, for example, to try to build a script for use cases in Azure, and their results were like, not that really impressive. And that's, I guess, has to do because the data they stopped collecting, I think, in 2021. So everything that happened after that is simply not in the large language model. And so I guess in the future it will improve with more up-to-date data. But it's already helpful. It's as I said, a companion. So yeah, definitely worth looking into it.
Of course, yeah, of course, and it's I like it to use it in my daily workflow together with stuff like the GitHub Copilot and so on. It's really helpful.
Very cool. So I will, So I already put in the link to the ARMA session with Doug, and I also have the link to his repo where he has some descriptions. Yeah, Michael, Azure's commands are changing a lot. Yeah, and that's very true. And but he even didn't know anything about some specific use case. Where I just wanted to know, build a script where I can check the power state of an Azure VM, and he always came up with, use this get AC VM, and he simply didn't know that there is the status parameter, which is essential, because without it you don't get the power state info. So.
And we better shouldn't ask about Microsoft Graph.
Oh yeah. Yeah, very true. So okay, so maybe we should move on. So because we have other questions, right? On our list, I think. What was the second one here? And by the way, here it's okay. Another question coming from the chat. Does ScriptRunner has any methods to prevent that user paste plain passwords or other sensitive data?
Sure, of course. So I think the most easiest way to do that is to use a secure string instead of simple string.
And that's what you can enforce in ScriptRunner to make sure the parameter where maybe some user has to type in something, it is a secure string, no matter if it's a password or anything else. So
yes, or if you want to no, you can use you could use the ScriptRunner credentials as a in a PS credential parameter. So I think that are the two most common way to prevent users from using plain text passwords.
Yeah, or any other sensitive data. So I think that's a very important point, that the credentials that are necessary to do something in the backend, of course, are not in the hands of the users, but they are managed in the background, so the users don't have to worry about it. And so that's, I think, one of the important things when it comes to the security concept behind
and
it.
Of course, you could use the ScriptRunner password server connector, or the Azure. No, not Azure. The PowerShell secrets management and stuff like that. And I think in upcoming versions, the Azure Key Vault will be also included into ScriptRunner. But that's
I heard about it. I heard this as well. Yeah.
That's a topic for upcoming versions, so it's not currently included.
Yeah, but it's absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Key Vault. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So, well, do we have another? We have this other question here, right? What was it?
So I have a question on the list. What is your current PowerShell what is your most favorite PowerShell module? I think we answered these questions a lot of times. So currently, of course, PowerShell AI, and otherwise, I do not explore really new PowerShell modules. So not at the time, at least. I can tell what is definitely not my most favorite PowerShell module, and that is the graph stuff.
I thought it's the one for SharePoint. Ooh.
And SharePoint, of course. And SharePoint, of course. No, if I have to answer this question, it's PowerShell AI. Definitely.
Yeah. For what I'm doing right now, and to have also some fun with it, I think it's really cool. But on the other hand, I'm still, I'm doing things with the AD module or with the Power CLI module in VMware. It's not the most sexiest one, maybe, but it's super helpful. It's stable and it does the job.
Yeah, Ferdinand says it. PnP PowerShell. Oh,
yeah,
please no.
Markus.
Please no.
Yeah. People should know that Markus is not a big fan of Microsoft SharePoint in general. Maybe we should make a complete episode, a complete Emma session, maybe just about that, but maybe not today.
Yes, I heard some colleagues are interested in doing a SharePoint session with you. So, of course.
Yeah. And see, there was a lot of people offering help. So maybe
no way.
no way. Please. Okay, cool. All right. What else do we have? There was one question that has to do with that Microsoft postponed the deprecation of the remote PowerShell in Exchange Online. Not sure if people are aware of that. And there is an article on our Microsoft page. Maybe we can just quickly share it. Sherry. Where is it? No, Heiko, don't start to sing. Nobody needs that. Where is it? It's here. Okay, so last year Microsoft has announced that they want to deprecate the remote PowerShell in Exchange Online, and I think there's even a timeline down there. No. Okay, there is one, but it started last year, and then it already, I think it should be deprecated. The initial plan was to already deprecate it, stop it earlier the year, but I guess they got some feedback from customers saying, "Oh, we need some more time to change our scripts," and so that's what's actually happening. So here it is. And so we have some new dates which if we scroll down, I think it will be, they will start to block remote PowerShell in October 2023. So there's still some time to move and to modify the scripts, but it will happen. So the sooner the better you're moving to the up-to-date modules, I think, is a good idea. So and I think we can put this into the chat as well if for people who might want to check this out.
There's another comment from Black Box Coder. Last year, James showed at the PSConf EU a neat MS Graph module, Microsoft Graph ++. So I attended the session as well, and indeed, it's a really neat module. But I think it's I was kind of outdated at this time. I'm not sure. I haven't used it. I haven't used it in a long time, so I'm not sure if he updated it or if it's still on a state. It was at the PSConf. So maybe I give it another try. So it's really nice. I think it's a kind of wrapper for the Graph API. To simplify all the REST calls you can do with Microsoft Graph.
And maybe there will be an update on the upcoming PSConf EU. So
maybe
which we wanted to talk about as well. Maybe we can just
so thanks for the reminder. I will have a look. At it. Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. So what else do we have? So I think we have a question that was already, I think, on our list for quite a bit. And again, it has to do with ScriptRunner actually, because somebody asked, can we manage multiple 365 tenants? And the answer is, of course, yes.
You can do it.
If you have like for example MSPs, they manage many different customers, different Office 365 tenants, then they can create as many targets, so to speak, tenants for the configuration in ScriptRunner. So for either maintaining things on a tenant by tenant based, or if they have like housekeeping processes, things that they want to do maybe over the weekends or something for all their tenants, they can put it into collections, and then they will step by step go through all the tenants and do whatever necessary, archiving logs and stuff like that. And so for sure, that's definitely something that is possible.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, next question is a more general topic. Where do you see IT automation going?
Ooh, this is a question we could ask ChatGPT actually.
We
could. That's an interesting question. So I think ChatGPT will play a role. That's for sure. And I think that there are all kinds of studies around this topic, and I think there was one just published recently with what's it called? Global State of IT Automation Report, and it's pretty interesting because some things are maybe not that surprising, but
so self-service automation is booming. So I think that's a topic now. So in my opinion, it's these, let's say, end-to-end automation gets bigger and bigger. So all kind of end users. So not only the IT related employees or users. So I think it's going more and more to make the end users to do IT related stuff without the knowledge. So for example, you can have a portal where you can click on stuff, or where you can start tasks and so on, and there's no admin to approve this, so you can just click it and the automation process starts and you get the result.
Yeah, so I think this is really like this enabling people out of IT to kind of trigger tasks that typically would be triggered by an IT person or maybe by a help desk person, but give it into the hands of the user. And I think what it says here is I think it kind of sums it up, I think, pretty cool, pretty good. Democratization of automation has another benefit. It frees up IT teams to work on other priorities. And I think it's true for all other kinds of automation, I think, but it's especially also true for this self-service automation, and give these possibilities to the line of business users. That's for sure. What I also find interesting here, that it says, okay, automation has evolved into orchestration, which has to do with, I think, another finding in this study, where they see obviously that, okay, it's more and more not just Azure or not just AWS, it's multi-cloud, it's hybrid, it's still having things, of course, being on premises. So yeah, so I think the future of IT automation looks great. There's things like ChatGPT. There are more possibilities, more interesting use cases, and also more complex use cases, I think, that can be automated in the future. So yeah, it will be interesting. So if you're interested in that, it just search for this Global State of IT Automation report. You will find it. I think it's really interesting. And there, as I said, there are other studies from Forrester and from other research organizations. But yeah, so coming back to the question, whether you see IT automation going, well, yeah, it's growing. It's becoming more important. And I think compared to the past, it's not like a nice to have. It's really a necessity. People just have to do it, because it's doing things manually is not the way to do it. Yeah,
exactly. And Ferdinand, who is also here in the session now, he does really great stuff with automation, and a lot of stuff with no-code platforms. And yeah, I think that's also a topic in automation, to move from complex scripting and code stuff more and more into no-code and low-code platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. What else do we have? What do we have here? What is the next question? I think it's about the user group. Okay, right? Is this one?
Yeah, it's the next one. What were you take away from the last PS user group Rhein-Neckar meetup? Oh, okay. Didn't attend it, so
what?
I think you have to answer. Yes, sorry.
Okay. So okay.
Shame.
Okay. We nobody listens, so it's okay. So maybe for people who don't know, so we together with Ryan from Glückenkanja, we organized this PowerShell user group here in the area around Heidelberg, and it was, well, we started in 2019, and then something happened, so we stopped, and we restarted it in February with a session with Guy Leach, which was already super interesting. He talked about troubleshooting Windows issues with PowerShell. And the second one we had with Steve Lee, actually, with one of the heads of the Microsoft PowerShell team, and he shared the plans for 2023. So what the team is doing, and I think there's a lot of things, interesting stuff that's coming. They're building the DSC v3, and by the way, there is also a recording available. I will put it into the chat later on. He was talking about DSC, as I mentioned, the stuff that comes into 7.4. Quite interesting stuff. They also, I think they're in the process of kind of rebuilding the PowerShell gallery architecture, as when I understood it correctly, because I think in the past, once in a while they had some issues with performance or with availability, or statistic data was not available, and I think they are in the process of building something new, I guess, something more robust. So that's interesting. And coming back to our initial topic, ChatGPT. So at the end, I asked him if there are some plans that he can talk about, that how ChatGPT OpenAI will be kind of become part of what they do in the PowerShell team. And he was laughing because so he couldn't really tell details, but he said there will be things coming. They're working on it, and he said, not surprisingly, every product group in Microsoft is now busy implementing use cases and functionality based on OpenAI and ChatGPT. I think that's kind of were his words. So I think we will see some interesting stuff coming up there, and that's what he kind of, well, it was not really clear, but there will be some new stuff coming up. And then we had a second session with Bruno Buig, and he had some, what was it called? 10 tips to run PowerShell more secure and improve performance. And so he went through all different stuff like hash table, pipelining, how to improve it, and how to handle credentials securely. So it was a very, very interesting combination of this with these two sessions. So I would definitely recommend to watch it. I will let me just put it into the chat right now, so before I forget it. I should have it somewhere. Where is it? It's here. Yeah. Okay. So there you will find recording from the first session that we did with Guy Leach as well. So just go there. It's really interesting. And if you want to follow, by the way, and become part of the user group, we have a meetup page, and you can just become part of it. So then you know when we're gonna have a next session, which probably will be in July. And that's because we want to wait until PSConf EU has happened, which is, of course, another interesting topic, because ScriptRunner will be there. I will be there. Markus, are you going to be there too?
I don't think so. I think I do not attend this year, so maybe, but I'm not sure. So maybe, but currently it looks like I do not attend this year. But you will attend, and so you are there for sure.
Yes. And I was looking. I already looked through the schedule and through the sessions. So there is some interesting stuff. And there are going to be quite a number of people coming from the States. Jeff Hicks will be there, which I think is pretty cool.
At the PSConf.
Yes. And and a few people from the PowerShell team as well. Steve Lee won't be there, but he said one member of his team will be there. He didn't say who, but Sydney will be there. I think she was in Vienna as well last year, right?
Yeah, she was there with their colleagues Jody Boone and Steve. Oh, forgot his name.
Yeah. But I think I know who you mean. I think so. Yeah, they're going to be definitely they're going to be a few people from the Microsoft team, and so yeah, if you are not registered yet and you're into PowerShell, I think it's a good idea not just to learn but also meet the people. I think this is just a different experience. That's if you meet all the people that maybe you only know from Twitter or from LinkedIn or from online user group meetings, meeting these people, talking to them, and that's really cool. Okay, we have another comment here from Blackbox Coder. I love that you gave us a wrap up via Twitter. Is this planned for the future? I guess this relates to what we talked about with the user group, I guess.
Steven Boucher. I'm not sure how it's how to say it, but yeah, Booker.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. So I'm not sure what the question is. Is this planned for the future? Maybe. So if the question is if this is available, which comes back to the session. So you will find it definitely here on the YouTube channel where we have the session available. And I think Bruno did a good job going through all these 10 different options. Of course, it's not a complete list, but it gave a good understanding of how you can improve security and performance, for sure. All right. What else do we have, Markus?
We have one last question. I guess it was asked because we talked a lot about music in our sessions, and in the last 2 weeks, I do not know the exact date, but a new Metallica album was released, and the question is, what do you think about the new Metallica album?
Ooh, I like it, or as I learned, what people say. I think maybe the younger ones say, I dig it. I heard this. So it's cool. I think I also wrote it on Twitter. I think for me, it's one of the best for the last maybe 10 years or something. So I really like it. I like the energy, and
absolutely.
So it's really, I think you can hear the anger in James Hetfield's voice. I think he got divorced, right? Something like this, just recently or during the program. I'm not sure,
but that would explain.
Maybe he thinks about maybe all the millions that he has to give to his ex-wife. I'm not sure, but I like the aggression and the energy. So, but it's not like I wouldn't compare it with something like Master of Puppets or something where they were really like the great songs that everybody knows. But it's a good one. It's a good one, and I like it. How about you?
Yeah, and for sure, I like it as well. And do you remember I said there's no track or no song on it which has what it takes to be an iconic song like as you said, the Master of Puppets or something like that, or even Frantic or stuff like that from the Some Kind of Monsters album. But there is one. I think I posted on Twitter as well. If Darkness Had a Son, I think it has what it takes to be some kind of iconic song. It's my favorite track on it. So yeah, I love it. Nice wallpaper.
Yeah. I like the fact that they built this page where you could put in your any kind of phrase, and it comes up in the design of the new album. So just
nice. Yeah.
fun thing.
I really like it. So I think it's really the best album in the last years. So, but I even like the last one, the Hardwire to Self-Destruct, and of course the Death Magnetic. I think the Death Magnetic is a little bit more aggressive than 72 Seasons. So that's the title of the new album.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's great.
Yeah,
like
I
it.
think so too. Yeah. Okay, so are we? Did we cover everything? I think there was something. Did we? Okay. There was something around the. I guess people know, or maybe not. But this week was the Global PowerShell Summit in the States. Kind of the twin event from the PSConf in Europe. And if you followed on Twitter with the, what was the hashtag, PSH Summit, I think. So you could see a lot of familiar faces being there, and so I think they had a lot of interesting sessions around security and stuff like that. So, and I think somebody asked if the recordings will be available, and I think the answer was, first, obviously, they will become available for the attendees. And then I guess maybe 6 months later they will be published on YouTube. That's at least what they did, I think, in the past. So what you can do right now already is you can watch the ones from last year. If you go to YouTube and search for PowerShell Summit, you will find it. And then the new ones, I think, maybe it will take 6 months or something. So they will be available later. Yeah, so I think that's it for now. That's it for today, Markus.
Yes. So
Friday, and we have a long weekend. Over here, at least. Yeah. So any special plans?
Holiday on Monday. I still have to prepare a lot of stuff for our wedding celebration in June. Ooh. And I will do the AC 104 certification by next week. So I think I have to look up a few things.
All right.
Yes, and I think that covers all my plans for the weekend. So
okay, cool.
How about you?
Well, actually, no plans. Relaxing. we might go to a little concert nearby tomorrow with a kind of a funk soul band. We'll see, but other than that,
sounds nice.
Yeah. You know, music for old people more, like me. But we'll see. Yeah, relaxing. But all the best for your certification process.
Thank you.
And so I think we're at the end. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and have a great weekend. And we see you hopefully in the next Ask Me Anything session
by the end of May,
probably.
Or I think I'm not sure, some of the session attendees here we could see in our next International Tech Talk.
Yes, that's true. Or we see them in Prague, or we see them at the Experts Live in the Netherlands, where also we're going to be there. So I'm going to be there. We're going to have a booth. I'm going to have a session. So maybe we can see you there as well. Follow us on Twitter so you don't miss anything. I totally forgot to put in the banner for the two of us, but you see the Twitter handle from the two of us. So yeah, follow us and don't miss anything around automation and PowerShell and ScriptRunner. All right.
Again, have a great weekend, guys.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye. Thanks again for watching.
Yep. Bye. Thank you. Bye.